Welcome to living on the ocean. What's wrong with this laser? I expected it to be difficult laying on an anchor, rocking and not laying straight, to work in the extension that we built on the sandbank. But it looks like my laser is broken. The horizontal and the vertical lines are not longer 90 degrees from each other. And it worked perfect the last time I used it in a house. But first, having my coffee before I go into the tent and start my work. So this is what I have been busy with over the last couple days again. Making these foam bits is reasonable fast work, but what takes all the time is getting all those lines up here correct. I use my good friend, little laser thing, which if it's straight, it will give a little laser reflection. I don't think you can see that. Maybe if I turn like this, if I get it right, it will show some laser marks. Obviously that only works in the boat if the boat would be horizontal and the boat is not. So I have to make horizontal lines according to this and then adjust them for how much the boat lays to port or to starboard. As I could never build straight the steps that need to be built into this transom. And with the laser that sounds so easy. You just set the laser up, shine it at the wall and draw the lines over it. And correct that with the lines you get from the mast, assuming the mast is standing straight, but you have to start somewhere. Look at this. Why are the lines no longer 90 degrees to each other? No, my laser isn't broken. No, it's perfect here, and if you look well you can even see that on the right hand side the line is a little bit higher as a correction for the way the boat lays in the water. If I leave the laser standing in the same position, but I turn it to another place into the boat, something happens that would not happen in a house or in normal construction. You can now see very well that this line is much closer to here than that. It should be running like that. And that's because this boat is much farther away here and this line has to travel farther to get there. And that's why if you use a laser you have to make sure that it's straight in the boat. So let's move it back towards where I want it to be. And you can see that those angles are now 90 degrees. Now they are good. And here's a nice picture from the side where you can see the red laser line gently hopping up and down on the little rocking that the boat makes in the water. When the fishing boats come by, she moves up quite a lot. We can start making the simple foam shapes, which goes fast and which people can see. And they have no idea why you've been busy already for a day. Obvious, all you have to do is just make this foam shape, put it in there and voila, job done. Oops, I think I let go there a little bit of some frustrations of the past when people don't understand why not simply make a simple shape like this, lay it on a piece of foam and cut it with a Stanley knife. That cannot take a long time, can it? Yes, it can if you don't do the measuring right, it's not gonna work out and you end up with something very silly and have to correct it later or live with it. Take the time to measure everything out properly. And then start building something very nice, something you can enjoy. Like I'm doing here, supporting the end of the rudder, giving more bulkheads to that rudder hinge and at the same time making sure that it's exactly the same height for the first step left and right next to it. And you can see that on the left and the right side on the hull I've now also glued strips of foam. Those are going to be covered in glass fiber and be an extra support for the first steps to be resting on. And when that's done I can use basically the same piece of foam as a mold to make the second bulkhead a step farther forwards, the one on which the chain plates for the backstay are gonna pull on. And when I finish it and have it all the way up and I can draw the chain plate in the correct angle on it, I don't like the angle that the fibers have to be glued away on there. And again that slows down my work. Instead of just making a simple shape again and glue it in there, I'm sitting down with pen and paper again and think about a way I can make this work much better. And on the new shape I altered it all a bit and it starts to look better, but I'm still not happy with it. I actually want less of an angle inside and that means the wire needs to go higher. But the bulkhead needs to be built anyway, so I can do that and keep on thinking on how I'm gonna solve that, which is probably for one of the next episodes. But I'm quite happy when all the bulkheads are in now. I can just glue them into place with filler and then start glassing them and reinforce wherever they need to be with carbon fiber. And then very soon I can make the top on it, which will be the first step, and also the top of the water tank, which is gonna be underneath here. The little triangles on the back are not gonna be part of the water tank. I would never be able to clean them again, and I think they will serve perfectly as little crash boxes on the end. Cheryl and I would love to be sailing, but this is what we do sometimes to be able to be sailing, building and building. I hope to meet you guys on the ocean much more than that I would like to meet you in a workspace, but this is necessary for us to be able to go to the ocean. And make much more videos like this. Trimaran Twilight, no winter squalls. Hitting a squall and washing myself in the rain. Those are great memories and things Cheryl and I both want to go back to. Our little twilights, going to the waves or absolutely floating in Atlantic blue-outs. Watching dolphins from the bow, we can hardly wait. This is where we want to go back to. This is why we do all the work. This is what living on the ocean is really about, to be back on the ocean. Thank you for watching this episode. I really want to thank all of you for your likes and your comments. Those that have commented to us, I hope you realize we really do our best to respond to you, to your questions, to your remarks. Some of you that have been saying the music is a bit loud in the last episode. We've been trying to adjust that. That's a little bit to do with some new program that we're trying to work with. Thank you so much also for all of you that subscribe to our channel. We're doing exceptionally well for a beginning channel, so thank you for all that. Any questions, any remarks, please give them to us. Thank you for watching and hope to see you in the next episode.